The Bodhisattva Manjushri addressed the Buddha and said, "World-honored one, how many are the characteristics of omniscience?" The Buddha answered the Bodhisattva Manjushri and said, "Good son, they number 5. The first is that if the voice of an omniscient one appears in this world, it will be heard everywhere. The second is that he will be endowed with the 32 major qualities. The third is that he will be endowed with the 10 powers and be able to sever all the doubts of all sentient beings. The fourth is that he will be endowed with the 4 fearlessnesses, proclaim the true doctrine, and be irrefutable by any other. The fifth is that, in the good doctrine and discipline, he will be able to bring forth the 4 kinds of monks with the Eightfold Path. He will engender teachings that will sever the net of doubt, and will not be subject to refutation by others, but rather will be able to refute all their heresies. The monks of the Holy Path will be able to ascertain those teachings. Understand that these are the 5 characteristics of omniscience. Good son, you are to realize that this reasoning from what is well demonstrated, because based upon direct insight, inference, and the holy teachings, is termed purified in its 5 characteristics. What then are the 7 characteristics that are termed impure? The first is characterized as ascertainable through similarity to other forms. The second is characterized as ascertainable through dissimilarity to other forms. The third is characterized as ascertainable through similarity to all forms. The fourth is characterized as ascertainable through dissimilarity to all forms. The fifth is characterized as ascertainable through dissimilar examples. The sixth is characterized as incomplete. The seventh is characterized as the explanation of impure teachings. If something is ascertained through the mental construction of thinking about everything, then that is characterized as ascertainable through similarity to other forms. If the characteristics, natures, actions, cause, result, and differences of things are fixed as all having differences in each of their differing characteristics, this is characterized as ascertainable through dissimilarity to other forms. Good son, if in that which is ascertainable through similarity to other forms, and, in its example, the characteristics of all dissimilar forms are included, then its proposition cannot be demonstrated. This is what is said to be characterized as incomplete. If, in that which is characterized as ascertainable through dissimilarity to all other forms, and in its example, all similar forms are included, then its proposition cannot be demonstrated. This is also what is said to be characterized as incomplete. Because incomplete, it negates well-understood purified reasoning. Because impure, it cannot be cultivated. If its characteristics are drawn from dissimilar analogies, if it negates well-purified teaching, know that at base it is impure. Reasoning from reality refers to reasoning from the reality realm, which abides in all things and supports the nature of things, whether a Tathagata appears in the world or not. The theoretical matrix on differentiating the general refers to that final understanding whereby what is at first described generally by a single term is later differentiated and distinguished by many terms. The theoretical teaching on essences refers to those characteristics of essence I have explained concerning the aids to awakening, which are taken up together with their different aspects and objects, such as the stations of mindfulness, etc. The theoretical matrix on the characteristics of the results of those aids consists in the abandonment of all worldly and world-transcendent passions, and in all the worldly and world-transcendent good qualities resulting therefrom. The theoretical matrix on the characteristics of the explanations of the experiencing of those aids consists in first experiencing them through liberation wisdom, and then proclaiming their interpretation for others. The theoretical matrix on the characteristics of the obstacles to these states consists in all those defiled states that are able to obstruct the practices of the aids to awakening. The theoretical matrix on the characteristics of that which harmonizes with these good states consists in those habits brought about in their regard. The theoretical matrix on the characteristics injurious to them consists in the excesses of those things that obstruct them. The theoretical matrix on the characteristics of their preeminent benefit consists in the good qualities of the states harmonious to them. The Bodhisattva Manjushri addressed the Buddha and said, "World-honored one, you have summarized the meaning of the scripture, discipline, and theoretical matrix for the Bodhisattvas in a memory formula unknown to heretics. By means of this memory formula unknown to heretics, you lead Bodhisattvas to penetrate the underlying meaning of what the Tathagata has preached." The Buddha addressed the Bodhisattva Manjushri and said, "Good son, hear the truth, for I will summarize for you the meaning of that unique memory formula which leads all bodhisattvas to penetrate the underlying intent of what I have enunciated. Good son, I have preached that both defiled and purified states of consciousness lack any purposeful activity whatsoever, and have no personality whatsoever, for everything is apart from becoming. There are no defiled states, for it is not the case that they are first defiled and then purified. There are no purified states, for it is not the case that what is later purified was previously defiled. Since all the common worldlings in their weak bodies cling to things and are passionate in regard to their false views, distinguishing the essence of personalities one from the other, they imagine an I and a mine. In this false view they say, I see, I hear, I smell, I taste, I touch, I know, I eat, I do, I am defiled, I am purified. In such fashion their perverse efforts increase. But if they knew things as they really are, then they would be able to finally abandon those bodies of weakness, and, without any purposeful effort, would attain the unconditioned support that does not abide in passion, the highest purity apart from all verbal fabrication, and the unconditioned support without any purposeful effort. Good son, you should understand that this is how I summarize the meaning of the unique memory formula unknown to heretics that summarizes my meaning." Then the world-honored one recited these verses in order to emphasize his meaning. All states, defiled and purified, are without purposeful effort and without personality. Thus I have preached that they are apart from becoming. For defilement and purification admit of no before or after. In their bodies of weakness, worldlings are passionate about their views and therefore imagine an I and a mine. It is because of such delusion that they say, I see, I eat, I become, I am defiled and purified, etc. But if they knew things as they are in reality, then they would be able to abandon those bodies of weakness and attain that unconditioned support apart from defilement or purification, apart from verbal fabrication, apart from purposeful effort.